Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. This is for Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 1, Nashville, Marry Me in Tennessee. And normally for Married at First Sight, I go couple by couple, but since this is the first episode, we're not even at the weddings yet, I'm just going to go in order. I only do couple by couple for maths. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Be sure to like the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe as well. And we start off with Kirsten and Shaquille. We already know all the couples are going to tell their family and friends that they're getting married in 2 weeks. Same old, same old. So Kirsten's 32. She tells her mom and friends that she's getting married, and they don't seem surprised at all. Like, she must have already told them. Because they were like, okay, congratulations. And she says she's real picky, like very, very picky. Like, so picky she'll pick food off of a Supreme pizza. So will I hate a Supreme pizza. Ugh. She's really educated and she has extremely high standards. And she gets emotional telling her family that, she just really wants love. And I understand. I wanted to. So it's sad when people are really genuine on Married at First Sight because we know they just for views at this point. They don't care about y'all trying to really find love. But we also see Shaquille. He's 31, and he tells his friends that he's getting married in 2 weeks. And they like, married to who? Like, y'all do know why these cameras are here, right? Like, the cameras ain't just here just for the sake of being here. So he said he was in a tragic car accident as a child, and him and his family were in the accident. He couldn't play sports all the way up into like high school, so he really focused on his education. He typically travels for work, so he's always in a long distance relationship, and he's just tired of not having somebody to come home to. Like, he wants to have his person. He wants to do life with someone. He's tired of doing it alone. So he said he prayed for this, and his friend was like, "You prayed to marry a stranger?" I'm like, okay, we're going to see how this goes. I think he's just tired of being lonely, but it's like, do you really want to get married because you just really want to be married, or just you're tired of being alone? Next, we have Dominique and McKinley. Dominique is 25, so everybody is like 25. That's too young to be thinking about getting married. 25 is like the general age, like the standard statistic age for people to get married. But I think it just depends on the maturity of the person. However, for her, no, she's not ready. She tells her two homegirls she's getting married, and they were excited, but he can't be getting in the way of our girls' night. We gotta have our girls' time. That girls' time gonna die down. She's gonna be somebody's wife. So she calls herself an old soul. I can't tell. She didn't act like an old soul at all this entire episode. She's not ready. Her mom, who's her best friend, who she's always talking to throughout the day, is the one who signed her up for this. So it's just like, you really just did this for your mom. Because if you wanted it at 25, you would have signed up for it. And then we see McKinley. He's 34. So then there's a little bit of an age gap too. I don't know. Everybody's saying it's giving Virginia and Eric, and I see it. But he's staying with a family friend. He's staying with his friend and his friend's parents. So I'm like, what is going on here? If you don't have your own place on like a steady job, you should not qualify for this show. Like, I'm sick of it. It's a red flag. He said he's an entrepreneur. His family, they all have degrees. They degreed up. They got master's degrees and PhDs. But he was in the cannabis industry, and then he gave that up to come to Nashville, and he had to get a job. So he was in a long-term relationship with his ex-girlfriend. He thought she was going to be the one. And one day she texted him a picture of her with a ring. And he was like, oh, you dropping hints? Like, that's the kind of ring you want? Okay. And she was like, no, I just got engaged. I hope she get all the karma in the world for that. You do not do that to somebody. Like, that was just wrong. Just straight up foul. So after that horrible experience, he still wants to find love. His parents been married for over 40 years. His siblings are married. They have their own families. And so he wants one too. I just don't see it working with Dominique. But we'll get there. Next, we have Nicole and Chris. Now, this Chris seems like a good Chris. That last one, not so much. This Chris might redeem the Chris's on the show. Nicole is 32. And she tells her friend she's getting married. She's long-winded and she is a chatterbox, like will not hush. Her friends, they were genuinely shocked. Like, one was turning red. Like, he was like, what is this? So I'm like, what did you think the cameras were here for? She did say on the after party that she told him she was just on a dating show, like they're just filming her day to day with her friends, and then you sprung it on them that you're getting married. So yeah, that was genuine, that was real. She said she's Jewish, half Italian, and basically she tortures her dog, makes him watch her do puppet shows with his dog toys while he's sitting there in agony, and she really wants to be married. So Chris tells his friend, him and his friend got to the bar, and his friend didn't even really sit down good, and he's like, yep, I'm getting married in 2 weeks. Like, sheesh. Can I get a drink first? Like, you just quick with it. He ain't come to play. He know what he want. He said he's engaged. So Chris is 36. He's never lived with a woman before. I don't know. Do y'all think that's I think it can be concerning. Like 36 and never had a serious relationship. I don't know. But I like him so far. He has dogs as well. And he's a hopeless romantic, so I feel like, but we don't need another Alexis and Justin situation with the dog issues. Leave y'all dogs with somebody else until after decision day. And his friend was saying, like, what do you think about being a nice guy? Nice guys finish last type of thing. Because he said sometimes people take advantage of his kindness. But he said he's going to stay true to himself. He's going to be the genuinely nice person he is. Next, we have Jasmine and Eris. Heiress is 39, and he tells his family and friends, and they laugh hysterically. It was given Woody when he told his friends, but Woody told his family and friends, and they was like, no, you ain't gonna do it, you a player. Woody and Imani was the last good couple they had on the show. Like, the last good real couple they had on there. So he said he's used to doing ghosting women. He do all the ghosting, but one time he got his karma and a woman ghosted him, and when he was 28, he's 39. It took him like over a decade to get over that. Like, it scarred him so bad. Men can't handle the same hurt they give a woman. So he was saying his father was murdered in 1994, and he never really had like a stepfather or father figure in his life, and he just longs for his own family. His cousin told him, like, look, and she's about his age. She's like, you a player, you not ready. Like, don't do it. Why are you doing this? But too late. He gonna do it. He signed the contract. He want to be on TV channel. He ain't go through this long process for nothing. I heard this process was tedious. So Jasmine tells her family, and they're all really close, and they super excited. Like, they were so excited for her. And she's a beauty queen. She's in the pageant world. And she's also a cheerleading coach. So she's always cheerleading her girls 6 days a week. She says she's always in a long-term relationship. So you got somebody who's never really been in a relationship and somebody who's always in long-term relationships. And basically she sets them up for the next woman. Like, she gets them ready for the next woman. She be with them for 4 or 5 years. They don't propose nothing and it ends. Just wasting her time. So we have Gina and Clint. Gina tells her mom and friend, and she's an entrepreneur and a hairstylist, and she said men find her intimidating because she's a boss. Her last relationship was her longest relationship, but he broke up with her because, he wasn't happy with the situation, and she just really focused on work. So, if y'all hear that noise, that's my son doing push-ups. Clint is 40. At first, he was giving me Mitch vibes, but I don't know. Something about him. We're going to get into that. So he's 40. He tells his seasoned looking friends. His friends look a good about 55. He tells them that he's getting married. They happy for him. He's a traveler and a sailor, and he don't mind being a house husband. She says she don't mind having a house husband, but we'll see. So the ladies meet, and the guys meet as well. They have their separate meetings where they gather beforehand to get to know each other. A few guys never lived with a woman. Some of these guys don't even live by themselves. If you can't even live alone, you don't need to be living. You living with your mama and you living with somebody else's mama. What's happening? So the ladies think Dominique is young. She is. And they're all saying, what they want in a spouse. Chris says that he hasn't done a grown up in like a year. And it's funny because his future wife also said she hasn't done anything in 2 years since she moved to Nashville. So I think they're gonna get it in pretty quick, in my opinion. Clint and Eris said that they did the do about 2 weeks ago, right before they found out. And I'm like, if y'all know y'all going through this process, I guess because it wasn't set in stone, they were like, I'm going to live life. But why even entertain somebody and like get their hopes up knowing they're going through this process? I don't understand that. So Dominique says she takes matters into her own hands, if you know what I mean. And some of the guys want to consummate the marriage the first night, but the ladies are all saying no. Like they're like cheersing to not doing it the first night. So we see Shaq and Kirsten he's trying on his tux, she's trying on wedding dresses, so we know they're gonna get married first. That's a giveaway. And Shaquille keeps referring to himself as Dapper Dylan, and I wish he would stop. So he just moved to Nashville. You know, he travels for work, so he brought his students with him, and they got opinions on these suits now. But he made this decision. I like the first one better. That's my opinion, but I think it looked nice on him. So the ladies have their bachelorette party, and this year, they got male strippers. I am not a fan of male strippers. I don't like it. Ugh. Like, I would rather just, go and have drinks or eat or something. I don't want to do that, but they finally got it. They don't usually get that. So the fellas are having an underwhelming private dance. It ain't underwhelming to Clint, though. And Chris is not, and he couldn't be any less interested. Like, he's serious about wanting a wife. Like, he's not worried about this. So Dominique is flirting with the stripper. And, she let him take a shot from her girls. And then she called it her pocketbook. The pocketbook is down there, not up here. But I'm like, she's definitely not ready. And then the way he was disrespecting her, like, talking about, I got something you can put in your mouth. Girl, you are not ready to even be nobody's girlfriend, let alone a wife. So Eris said that he put his dating apps on snooze. But Chris said he deleted his. And Eris is like making fun of him in the confessional. But no, he's intentional, he's serious, and he really wants to be married. Unlike Eris, who just wants to be on TV. So it's the wedding day, and I'm glad we didn't spend too much time on these wedding dresses and all this shopping and chit-chatting with friends. I hate how they drag it on. Take me back to season 1 where that was all like one episode. So Kirsten and Shaquille are up first. Kirsten calls her mom, but her mom's phone, it sounds like it's disconnected to me. And she was saying like she wants a man with a low cut and a beard. He got a beard. And her friend was like, what if he bald head? And she's like, I don't want no bald head husband. Too bad, girl. You ain't pick your husband. You gonna get what you get. And she was saying, like, if he's not attracted to her, then, he can kiss her on the cheek. I don't think she's gonna be attracted to him. Her standards are, like, unobtainable. Unless she has too many, like, high standards. It's one thing to have standards, but it's too much. Her dad isn't there to walk her down the aisle because he didn't want to get tested for 1-9. But her mom finally shows up. So somebody's got to walk her down the aisle. I can't believe her dad did that. But she was saying her dad is stubborn. When he says something, he don't change his mind. But I'm like, for your child? Oh my God, I know my dad would not miss it. Like, I wouldn't even want to do it if my dad wasn't there to walk me down the aisle, honestly. I'm glad her mom made it, though. But girl, get your phone turned on. So Shaq is shedding tears because, again, he's tired of being alone. He's just happy to finally have someone. See if you like her first. So someone on her side, the family is sitting down, getting ready for the ceremony. Somebody got on a jean vest. I just went to a wedding in the summer. A man had on white tee jeans, distressed jeans, and sneakers. Oh my gosh. Like, that is not wedding etiquette. It's giving ghetto. And I don't like it. It's not in a good way. It's like the bad kind. But the bride and the bridesmaids, they look good, snatched, aesthetically pleasing. And then we see Shaq, his grandmother surprises him, and he like gets into tears. He gets emotional because he just loves his grandma, and I love to see it. I'm glad that he's able to tap into his emotions, and he's not like, as long as he's not like a crybaby. But I don't like men who like can't express themselves emotionally. So that may lead to healthy communication and etc. But next week we got the weddings. I hope we wrap this up in one episode, please. But Maps is back. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.